one, take one.
Welcome
to the month of June.
I'm Ava.
And I am Trudy. And you have tuned into Virtual Tarot.
By mistake or by design.
And so, Ava and I have an announcement to make.
Ta-da!
We have a new website.
And look at the victim.
Yes. I'm the one who had the Ten of Swords coming out all over the place last month. Right?
Little did we know that those swords were actually websites.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was navigation issues. So anyway, we have a new website.
Yes, we have. We're so proud.
So please check us out. It is the URL.
You must have seen it a million times. Go ahead.
Ava Trudy, virtualtarot.com.
Ava Trudy, virtualtarot.com.
That is our new web
That
address.
is it. Please go there. And if you need our personal help through our various and sundry readings, please go to our new website, have a look, and we'd be more than pleased to help you.
Yes. So I also want to mention, if you have any issues and you really love that old site, it's still up, so you can connect through the purchase a reading page. And we call it the classic site.
Yes.
So you can still use that if that's more comfortable.
If you're old-fashioned like I am.
So there you go. And let's talk about what we do here at Virtual Tarot.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
What do we do, Trudy?
We do a 4-card spread designed just for you by us.
By us.
So that we can read to the multiverse.
Yes, and the 4-card spread is such that we can give a overall view of the month for you. The first card is representative of the energy of the month of June.
I know.
Oh.
Second card, challenges. And this is the card that you really want to see.
Yes.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Right. And the third card is the unexpected, that for which you were not prepared, which is why you come to us.
That's right.
So that you can be pre-prepared for that.
And then the last card will represent the outcome, and we'll do a little bit of spiritual counseling at that point. So stay tuned for that. And so are you ready to do the recap for Capricorn?
Recap for Cap.
We are starting with our Earth signs this month, and you are
You're number one, Capricorn.
All right.
I love Capricorn.
Yes.
They're so quacky.
Yeah, she has a couple of...
You're very quacky. First of all, they come off as very staid and steady, but then you scratch the surface a bit, and there's always some really oddity in there, which is fascinating.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Last month.
Can we do a shout out to Woody Allen?
Is he a Cap?
No, I'm talking about our Woody Allen.
Oh, we have one.
We have a doppelganger friend.
Yes.
He looks just like Woody Allen. Anyway. So let's do last month's recap. First position, what did we have for you, Capricorn? We had the King of Swords, coloring the entire month for you in the month of May. And what we had said about the King of Swords is, you know, this is a man who is an air sign. Well, that would be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Mm-hmm. Also could be the law, could be a lawyer, could be a legal issue. And oftentimes it just means you need to become very logical, rational, and almost remove yourself emotionally from the situation. Mm-hmm. Anything to add to that?
No. Let's go.
Okay. And then in the next position,
she did such an awesome job.
In the position of challenge, we have the Daddy card. Well, that's what I call it anyway. It's the Emperor.
My heart belongs to Daddy.
So we have the Emperor.
So how could the Emperor possibly be a challenge?
Well, the rules and regulations that the Emperor lives by.
Exactly. So those are rules and regulations you might have to live by, either your own, the imposition of those rules, or the imposition of those rules upon you. It's adjustment to some sort of structure, but it demands a bit of seriousness and self-possession.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Very good. And then, in the position of the unexpected, the Seven of Swords.
Uh-oh, sneaky, sneaky.
This is a bit difficult, this card. And oftentimes it can speak to deceit It can speak to sleuthing, or perhaps there's a spy in your midst.
Right. Or positively speaking, it could be that you need to come at this at an angle that is not so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, to sort of take the back door in and surprise everybody. Like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Proceed off the grid anyway.
Off the grid you go.
But then in the very final position, the position of outcome, we had the sun reversed.
A Paul.
Perhaps a Paul.
A Paul.
And, this is a card that is good even in the inverse. The sun is a card of vitality. But for some reason, we read these cards in succession, it's a narrative.
Yeah, because your energy has waned at the end of the month. I think it's exhausting, all these rules.
Mm-hmm.
Exhausting the type of personal adjustment intellectually and physically that you're making is wearing you out. Plus, unexpectedly, you really have to go at this in a way that isn't obvious.
Exactly.
And so you have to figure out. So there's a lot of strategizing in the background as well.
Right. Interestingly enough, the thought comes to me that perhaps there's some sort of escape that's being planned for. So we will find out, because we're getting ready to do your reading.
So if you're a hostage,
that will come up.
Sort. Yes, you're planning your escape in the month of May.
So we will look for either the Six of Swords, or we will look for the Eight of Swords, right?
The Eight of Wands.
Or the Eight of
Wands. If they take a plane.
Okay. So there you go.
Shuffled Capricorn. I'll even split 3 times with my left hand, because the left is connected to the right brain. So.
Yes. Okay, wait.
Light.
We do white light.
White light.
You ready? Surrounding your
and
mobile and digital devices.
Devices at home.
Because 65% of you, according to YouTube, watch us on mobile.
That's right.
Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go.
Ready. Here we go, Capricorn.
There we go. Well, and you see Ava's face.
This was not designed.
Up comes the same card in the same position that you had last month.
So,
King of Swords.
Whatever they were doing last month continues into this month.
Yes.
And that mode of thought and behavior, which is highly rational, determined, incisive, communicative, mind over matter, mind over heart, behaving in ways that are completely logical and rational. And it must be that they're applying this to some sort of endeavor, task, project, or it's necessary for where they find themselves environmentally.
Well, it is the King of Swords, so this could be a person as well.
Yes.
Who's still coloring the environment.
Yes, but abstractly, it is either a person, but abstractly it's
the energy.
His energy. What is his energy? That's his energy.
Well, it's intellectual.
It's intellectual, meaning that it could do with writing, any kind of engineering tasks.
Right.
It can do with surgery, medicine.
Precision.
Precision. Anything that takes precision is the mode of thought and action.
Okay.
That's needed. So let's see.
Yes, and if this was a person,
it would be a lawyer, a doctor.
If it was a celebrity, it would be...
Be whom?
Suits. Anybody who's a lawyer.
Oh, yes.
The Lincoln lawyer.
Yes, all the suits.
Matthew McConaughey.
In
the
his
Lincoln
suit.
lawyer. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's not in a suit.
He's not in a suit.
No.
Lincoln didn't have a suit, did he?
No, the Lincoln lawyer, his car is...
his lawyer had a suit.
performs...
I wonder if they had suits back then. Is the tie a recent invention?
No, the tie's like a noose around your neck.
It's a noose.
Yeah.
They got you.
That's how society...
They got you. All right.
They keep you.
They keep you.
All right. Okay, now in the next position, we are going to the position of challenges. So you guys are kind of still moving in the same sort of zeitgeist that you were moving in last month, because up comes...
You saw me.
Yes.
You saw me shuffle. Right?
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about these cards. But up comes the Seven of Swords, and when this happens, it's kind of one of those magic moments where, you know, people will ask us, so, do you believe that this tarot thing really works? Well, this happens more than you would imagine.
Yes, the same cards or the same general meaning, even though it might be a different card, a different way of approaching the same idea will exhibit itself.
Exactly, which is what's happening for you this month, Capricorn. So in the position of challenge, what do we have? We have, once again, the Super Sleuth under the radar, perhaps Spy in your midst card, which is the Seven of Swords, in the position of challenge, moving up from last month. We had it in the position of the unexpected.
The unexpected. So the unexpected has become your challenge.
Yes.
That which you didn't expect has now become your challenge.
Yes, exactly. So now, since it's already popped up, perhaps there's someone in your midst who's trying to take the china.
Well,
you know, and
yes,
it's become a
metaphorically
challenge.
Speaking, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And
steal the silverware kind of
perhaps,
thing. Steal intellectual
or perhaps
property.
Someone is being less than honest.
Yes.
In your midst.
And if this isn't someone else, it could be you. And
Or,
your challenge is to stay under the radar, perhaps,
right,
while you're working through this issue.
And sometimes you have to be, you have to withdraw or pull away information, or not show your cards, in other words. This is a card of not showing your cards.
Yes, and so if you're invested in some sort of legal situation, right now it is becoming more challenging to keep your cards close to the vest.
That's right.
So should we
and
move?
Yes, let's
see, because I'm dying to find out if we're going to get the same card.
No, we're not.
Well, Capricorn, it's all swords for you this month.
Right.
But a much better card. It's the
much
Four.
Better card. Unexpectedly, you have the Four of Swords, which is that you do get a respite in the midst of all this strategizing and calculating and a strong, determined analytics that is going on. Mm-hmm. We have a reprieve, a respite. You recline in your own sanctuary, whether that's your mind or a literal sanctuary, a holiday. This can often be on a mundane level, taking a trip and just resting.
And it's also healing. Because the card that precedes this is the Three of Swords, which if you see that card, it's a heart being pierced by three swords. That comes before this, which means there could be healing going on in the midst of all this craziness.
But the healing comes from the ability to analyze things quietly, calmly, with a firm base. Four.
It's almost as if the battle has been fought. Because we talk about this card, and this is the card of the knight who comes back from battle, and he's actually survived, and he lies on his coffin. Yes. Because that's what they used to do during medieval times. I mean, that's not very optimistic that you would actually have your coffin made before you left for a battle.
Well, it's realistic, isn't it?
So they would return, and if they did survive, they would lie on the coffin, and basically they would meditate. And they would do it better next time, which we speak to that often. We can make mistakes, but it's important to do it better next time.
So you find some sort of place, whether that's interior or exterior, and you contemplate.
Yes.
Maybe this is what's even necessary. is that you realize that there's a sort of a meditation that needs to take place. Intellectual meditation, not just about spiritual things, but about how things are working.
Right.
Oh, wow. So this helps. The respite helps you.
You have pulled a very lovely card. The Hanged Man. Finally a major arcana card for you, Capricorn, this month. And the Hanged Man is a fabulous card because it's a very spiritual card. And if you look at the card, you'll see that this cute little guy with red tights, which
that's passion.
Ava loves the red tights.
That's the
is
passion.
Suspended between heaven and earth. So there's a bit of time out happening, and a sacrifice will be made by the end of the month.
Yeah, you give up something, but you get something better in return.
Exactly. Enlightenment.
Well, that's the giving up of the ego is ultimately what the card is about. So you become, you find your niche. You find where you fit into the large dynamic because you surrender your ego, you surrender your objection, let's just say, and fit in, and then you can see things in a completely new way. And this gives you a sense of, it elevates you above the fray.
Right, because this 4 is basically the minor arcana hangman. So Spirit is telling you at the end of the month, the counsel would be very important to take time off, time out, create a sanctuary, a place where you can meditate.
Where you can meditate, yes.
So that you can begin to see your way out of this situation by looking at it from a fresh perspective.
Right.
The sacrifice may need to be made if there is a severing of a relationship going on with you this month, Capricorn, but do not worry because you'll be all the better for that sacrifice. Or you may need to see something a little bit differently. And I learned in Harry Potter school that this is the card of the student. And when I say Harry Potter school, I mean tarot school. I was taught that the Hanged Man is also the part. It's the card of the student because you back up and you sort of remove yourself from the real world and you learn new things. So perhaps at the end of all of this, you'll enroll and, you know, in some sort of curriculum or situation where that will enable you to move out of this situation and see things from a new perspective.
Well, that's totally acceptable. Yes, we're all, every stage can be thought of too as a learning stage of life. But there are some stages in which you really do have to come to a kind of a major removal of yourself from the situation on a sense that the ego is brought out of the situation so you can see it from a distance, in a sense. So to become the third person in this spectacle of your life, so that you can see it in a different light.
Right.
That's what it indicates on a spiritual level, is that separation, seeing your life as a stranger would. When you see your circumstances in life as you would another person's circumstances, well, even when they have tragedies, you can remove yourself from that and see, well, maybe the solution, they should do this or they should do that.
Right.
And when you're in that tragedy, you can't figure out what the heck to do.
Right.
But by being that stranger, viewing your own life as a stranger, that's what it really means on a very deep level.
So take time out. That's spiritual counsel.
Yes, that is spiritual counsel.
Take a break, take a weekend, take 5 minutes.
And remove yourself and see, you know, this is a meditative process too, where you become the stranger, the perspective of a stranger. It's very, very helpful to you and can solve for you what is unsolvable because you're so connected to the problem.
Yeah. So their theme song is Billy Joel, The Stranger, this month. It's a great album too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Billy Joel had a song called The Stranger.
Yes.
So become a stranger.
To your own life.
To your own life.
And we will see you next month, because it is June and next month is July, and it is the month of the heat wave. Although August isn't much better. So we'll
having a heat wave.
We'll be coming at you from
tropical heat wave.
Underwater. All right. Anything else, Ave? You want to add?
Not a thing.
If you would like a personal reading, go to our brand new super duper cool website.
Super duper website. Created by whom?
And I think that
by whom? Closer. You get a wake up call. You get closure.
Yes, we have two very different ones.
All right.
Okay, I think that's really good, Erin.
That's fine.
Okay, read the book. Look like you're reading the book. I point to it.
I can't read my handwriting.
I don't know what you've said. And then there's further nonsense over here.
Yes, I believe so.